So let's get to the real reason why you're here, Mr. Duncan. Another segment of underrated, overrated, and this time
Before
it's the
we go
college
on,
edition.
before we go
College
on,
edition.
were you guys watching college football on ESPN just now, baby?
I
I'm
have it
still
on the
I'm
Gamecast
still
here.
in a dispute with Disney right now, but yes, we know that Go Fight Win is 3-0 on the season, getting their revenge from the bowl game, beating Kansas 23-20.
That is the 3-0 UNLV Running Rebels with 2 victories over Big 12 opponents. Expect them to be in the top 25 next week, even though they don't deserve it. I'm gonna be real with these snubs and gas ups, man. Look, this overrated, underrated shit. I'm taking it seriously. Just because I'm a fan of the team doesn't mean that they don't get shade. UNLV is way better than they ever have been. They beat teams that they beat Kansas, and they should have beat Kansas. Kansas not really that great this season. They were talking about a Big 12 championship. There's no way in hell. Sorry, they don't have the offensive line or defensive line to stack up with the big boys of that conference or the big boys of even the Mountain West. And while we're on that topic, let me just go ahead and segue into my snub of the season so far. I'm telling you, Boise State winning their week 1 game the way they did and losing their week 2 game to number 7 Oregon by 3 points after leading in the fourth quarter deserves to be in the top 25. That squad is strong. Either that or Oregon sucks and doesn't belong in the number 9 spot.
It could be a little bit of both. It could be a little bit of both because I mean, Boise State's always been good. In my opinion, I think Boise State has always been a very solid team, regardless of them being in the conference that they've been in.
Literally always top 2 in the Mountain West, and one of those teams is always in the top 25 every year, either San Diego State or
now
Boise.
a part of the Pac-6.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll into that real quick. Let me ask, is it illegal for one conference to buy another? Because why doesn't the Pac whatever just buy the Mountain West and then ditch the shit they don't want?
I was thinking that too. I was definitely thinking that.
They're paying $34 million to the Mountain West in exit fees for each one of these teams that the Pac-12 is going to pay for. If it's 4 teams at $34 million apiece, my math tells me that's $132 million. I promise you the Mountain West would sell for less than that.
But there's possibilities. There's possibilities that Cal and Stanford might come home if they don't like being in the ACC. There's also
the point of leaving.
I still don't understand how you have West Coast teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Yeah, they need to look.
Or you got
to change the teams.
Or you got LA teams in the Midwest Conference known as the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, bro. Look, you can't call yourself the Atlantic Coast Conference and have Stanford. All right. Anyway, so Boise State, who currently has my leading Heisman vote right now with Ashton Genty, dude in week 1 broke Jay Ajayi's single game rushing record for touchdowns at Boise with 6. Jay had it since 2015 when he was drafted by the Dolphins with
Jay
5.
Ajayi, what happened to that guy? That guy was
he was a stud for 5-6 years. That's the running back shelf life in the NFL, man. They'll remember Cadillac Williams?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That dude was probably the best rookie prospect ever, and John Gruden ran his ass into the ground. He says, "I'm gonna ride this Cadillac till the wheels fall off." End quote. That shit was wild.
Well,
he sure as fuck did.
The unfortunate thing for Carnell was, I mean, he already had bad knees coming in because he had, sustained multiple knee injuries at Auburn, which did not help for the long-lasting career in the NFL. I mean, Frank Gore was the exception to the rule.
Look, bro, as an NFL player, you get in, you get your 3 years, you get your first contract, make that 10, 20 million, and you hope you can trade on your name the rest of your life and your body will hold up. That is the name of the game. If you end up playing past 6 or 7 years, you have made a name for yourself in the league. It's the NFL, not for long. The average life of a player in the NFL is 3.4 years. If you make it to 6 and get that contract, bro, you're good. So hats off to Jay Ajayi for getting that done. I don't think Carnell Williams got there, to be honest. So, but then that same game, Genty broke the single game yards rushing record held by Ian Johnson, who had a cup of coffee with the Vikings and the Cardinals and the Lions of all teams. So
famous Statue of Liberty play to beat Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. Ian Johnson
and proposed to his girlfriend.
Proposed to his cheerleader girlfriend.
Hey,
right after.
You know what's wild? ESPN just did a special on him right before that game when Genty broke the record, like literally the day before. That him and his fiance